Alright, guys. Alright, so I'm gonna do a quick 4 minutes meditation and we'll get this started.
This is pretty much.
Okay, we're about to get started. 1 sec. Just 4 minutes of meditation. Clear up the mind. Hey, good morning, brother. Good morning. I'll do just a quick 4 minutes, okay?
Well, now, the easiest way to get into the meditative state is to begin by listening. If you simply close your eyes and allow yourself to hear all the sounds that are going on around you, just listen to the general hum and buzz of the world as if you were listening to music. Don't try to identify the sounds you're hearing. Don't put names on them. Simply allow them to play with your eardrums. And let them go. In other words, you could put it, let your ears hear whatever they want to hear. Don't judge the sounds. There are no, as it were, proper sounds or improper sounds, and it doesn't matter if somebody coughs or sneezes or drops something. It's all just sound. And if I am talking to you right now and you're doing this, I want you to listen to the sound of my voice just as if it were noise. Don't try to make any sense out of what I'm saying, because your brain will take care of that automatically. You don't have to try to understand anything. Just listen to the sound. As you pursue that experiment, you will very naturally find that you can't help naming sounds, identifying them, that you will go on thinking, that is to say, talking to yourself inside your head automatically. But it's important that you don't try to repress those thoughts by forcing them out of your mind, because that will have precisely the same effect as if you were trying to smooth rough water with a flat iron. You're just going to disturb it all the more. What you do is this. As you hear sounds coming up in your head, thoughts, you simply listen to them as part of the general noise going on, just as you would be listening to the sound of my voice, or just as you would be listening to cars going by or to birds chattering outside the window. So look at your own thoughts as just noises. And soon you will find that the so-called outside world and the so-called inside world come together. They are a happening. Your thoughts are a happening, just like the sounds going on outside. And everything is simply a happening, and all you're doing is watching it. Now, in this process, another thing that is happening that is very important is that you're breathing. And as you start meditation, you allow your breath to run just as it wills. In other words, don't do at first any breathing exercise, but just watch your breath breathing the way it wants to breathe. And notice a curious thing about this. You say in the ordinary way, I breathe, because you feel that breathing is something that you are doing voluntarily, just in the same way as you might be walking or talking. But you will also notice that when you are not thinking about breathing, your breathing goes on just the same. So the curious thing about breath is that it can be looked at both as a voluntary and an involuntary action. You can feel on the one hand, I am doing it, and on the other hand, it is happening to me.
All right, guys. All right. Give me 1 second. All right. You guys should be able to hear me just fine. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome in. Let's get this started. You guys already know on a monthly perspective where we're aiming for, okay? So it's still I'm still very much bullish on the DXY on the monthly time frame. Still very much bullish. We did tap into this rejection block, but overall, just still looking for more longs. We're very, very close to our weekly objective. I do believe that that's going to be taken out by tomorrow, by end of day tomorrow during CPI, if not by today during CPI. If not by today, sorry, not during CPI. So in terms of the daily, my daily objective, we did trade into this imbalance here. Took out previous daily lows, created a low of the week on Monday. I don't think that this is like the low of the week, but I do believe that we're going to take out this previous daily high today from this imbalance. One thing I noted last week was that we already took out a previous weekly low, and so really to take out another previous weekly low back-to-back weeks seemed like a less probable scenario in my eyes. Okay, so we're gonna take that out. So then we have our insufficiency here. Okay, we'll see how this insufficiency, maybe in a couple of weeks we'll come back to this imbalance, but I don't think that is something that we're gonna utilize as of right now. Okay, so more longs in terms of the dollar. 4 hour did accumulate. We traded down below here. Let me take out this daily imbalance. Okay, yesterday we were noting this bullish imbalance here. Okay, now we traded into it. We accumulated off of it. Okay, and so for me, when we traded into this previous area of distribution, my thought process was we can essentially get a retracement, but the lowest point that I see us going as of right now is, these blue boxes, and then just continuing to that upper blue box. Okay, so I do see more longs. We have been longing all day so far today, so don't be surprised if we get some slight retracement, but overall more longs to this high in terms of the daily objective. But again, we are in a previous area of distribution. If we do get some distribution here, we can look at the lower end of this accumulation, but we shall see, because we traded above this gap here, and then you can see how that very next candle is utilizing it for more longs. So I do believe in the longs currently. There's bullish imbalances that we've created. There's bearish imbalances that we've overtaken. So I'm pretty strong on the bullish, and then seeing this as the overall goal today. Welcome everyone. Welcome to everyone that's tuning in. It is day 16 of our challenge, of our 30-day challenge. Okay, we got another half a month together. I don't know what day is the last one. So 17th, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So it would end on the 26th. But now, I don't know if you guys have been with me since the beginning of the the 30-day challenge, but on, I believe, the second the September 2nd, there was no stream, so I did skip one there. So we will do one to make up for that one. So we'll end on the 27th. Okay, and we'll end on the 27th to make up for that one day that I was extremely sick, and I honestly don't even remember. I just know I didn't do a stream. I don't even remember that day. It was just I was just so sick. But anyways, 16 days of our 30-day challenge. I've never streamed for this long. I've never really shared my thoughts for this amount of time, and I usually never like to stream during my time during New York session. So welcome into my space. Welcome to my perspective, my thought process, welcome to my morning routine. It's something I do every morning, just 4 or 5 minutes of meditation and just prep work for the markets. I look at the markets every morning around this time, and I usually don't trade till about 10 a.m. So today is the day right before CPI. Okay. The day before CPI. So I'm not expecting some crazy ass movement in the market. Like, I would not be surprised if between DXY we stayed between the high that was already created and this low that was already created for the day. I would not be surprised if we stay ranging for the rest of the day within this area. But as of right now, if I had to pick, I want to see some more longs. On an intraday perspective, maybe we'll turn back into this whole accumulation. Okay, maybe we shall see. I'm going to mark out this breaker just in case we do end up popping back down there. Okay, let's go into indices before anything else. All right. Weekly, 50% and above. That's so far, that's the area. It's this imbalance here. We traded into it on a weekly perspective. On a daily perspective, the range, we are 50% and above. Now, we did, in fact, close above here and above this imbalance here. So now, turning these away. Okay, maybe NASDAQ will see some longs out of this area here. Okay, that is an imbalance. That is an inverted imbalance there. Okay, maybe we see some support there. Maybe we see some support here. But overall, I do want to see some longs for NASDAQ, because I do believe that nothing was taken out from the upside. I mean, nothing at all was taken out from the upside. A lot was taken from the downside. Not in terms of NASDAQ, but all the other indices. So the sisterine liquidity was taken. And so here on NASDAQ, previous daily high is still intact. Dow still has previous daily high intact. And S&P as well. So on NASDAQ, what we're going to note is previous daily low. Okay. Previous daily low and previous daily high. Because I personally believe both this low and this high, maybe not today, but it is my belief that this low and this high are going to get taken out this week. Okay, it doesn't have to happen today, but overall, the liquidity that's currently rotating within our current range is this low and this high. So in my eyes, we don't need to go that low, but we can come pretty low and start targeting these lows eventually somewhere down this week. But I don't think that we're going to just dump straight to it today. We did come into a previous area of distribution, but yeah, I'm not convinced on the shorts yet. Okay, I'm not convinced on the shorts yet. We did trade above this imbalance, so I want to see what happens in this insufficiency first. Okay, lower low, higher high. We are trading within this current range here. Yeah, finding some accumulation in the area that we're in would be the ideal play for me. Will be the ideal play for me. Got another 7 minutes before the opening price. Give me a second. Okay, we got Dow Jones here. Let's go to it. Yeah, Dow Jones is dumping. Okay, Dow Jones came into a mitigation candle here on the daily. Look, it came into the mitigation candle here on the weekly, mitigation candle here on the daily. And if we expect more longs on the DXY, then we can just anticipate Dow to continue following this bearish order flow. Okay, so let's see where this gap was at. There it is. Let's line up everything there where it's supposed to be. Okay, lots of gaps to the downside. Okay, we came into this mitigation candle here. Where's all the volume coming from on Dow? Beats me, honestly. I don't follow volume too much on these assets. I believe the market's like purely manipulated, so I don't really believe too much on volume. But we did come down, I mean, up to 50% and above of this weekly range. We did trade into manipulation, a mitigation order block right there. This lower low, lower high, lower low, a failure to create a new high. It's right there. Shift in market structure with an insufficiency. We respected this bearish insufficiency, this bullish insufficiency overall. We are trading below previous daily low, so I do believe we can get back into this this mitigation candle. Personally, I like my goal overall this week is to take out the lows. Okay, it's short, but I just don't see that happening right now, given that we have yet to take any upside liquidity. Once we take some upside liquidity, then I'll be pretty short and, you know, comfortable with the shorts. So if we end up shorting today, then I'll let it be. I'm not touching anything unless we get a nice liquidity run. So on terms of Dow, my liquidity run was previous daily low. Okay, Dow did take previous daily low. Nasdaq has yet to. S&P, maybe we take the previous daily low in S&P, maybe not. Again, we did trade into this area of accumulation, this gap right here. Give me one sec. Sorry guys, I was setting up my girl's PC. I'm having a lot of trouble with her PC. We just bought like a pre-built, and it's just been problematic as fuck. But maybe we're just not very familiar with it. Anyways. Okay, so in terms of S&P, we did trade back into this insufficiency here that we tapped into yesterday. We are also respecting currently this new week opening gap here, so we can see some accumulation happening from here. I'd be targeting this triple top, previous daily high. So as of today, in terms of today, I want to see us get back in a premium, buy from this discount back into the weekly premium. Yep. Seems like my mic is cutting in and out. Drop some sevens in the chat if you guys can hear me okay. I did mute myself. I did mute myself. I wasn't speaking for a couple minutes, just looking at my wife's piece setup. But no, I'm drop some sevens in the chat if you can hear me loud and clear, just so we're good and everybody can hear me. I see some sevens. Can you guys hear me loud and clear? The music's all good. You guys can see my screen. Yeah. Cool. All right, guys. All right. So, give me one sec. All right. Yep, Dow Jones giving us a nice accumulation right there. I see the opening price here. Yeah, I'm pretty long on Dow. I want to see these Asian highs get clapped and us getting back to that mitigation block. But for sure, like Asian highs, and I'm only going to be shooting for Asian highs because it is NFP day tomorrow. So just Asian highs in terms of objectives. We don't need to go hella over the top or anything. Just Asian highs. Okay, the immediate highs. NASDAQ has yet to take out any downside liquidity, so maybe NASDAQ goes a lot deeper into this range, but overall, just aiming for the highs. NASDAQ previous daily high. S&P, yeah, just a continuation from where we're already at. Just a continuation from where we're already at. Let's see. Still bearish on all time frames. 15 minutes still bearish. Dow as well. 15 minutes still bearish. Look how we closed below. We got back into that gap. Give me a second. Let me delete all this stuff. We get back into this new week opening gap, and we're just trading a little bit lower. DXY. We are getting some distribution and rejection out of this area. Let's see if this holds out. The 1 hour is still bullish. Okay, 1 hour is still bullish, but we have traded into this gap. Look at this. Where the hell is this gap? Wow, you can't see that fucking gap on the 4 hour. 1 second. What? The hell is up with that? I can see all the other gaps just fine on the 4 hour. Except this one. Sunday's opening gap. What the hell? There's a fat ass gap right there. It's super weird. Well, I don't know why I can see it just fine on the other time frames, but this is a fat ass gap. We did just trade into it. Super fat ass gap right here. From that high to that low, new week opening gap. I mean, we just traded into that range. So, I mean, yeah, now I'm pretty bearish on DXY. I want to see price action to move lower. But first evidence, right? First evidence. We need to see evidence. And then we'll go from there. First, we need evidence. If not, you know, we don't get no evidence, we don't get the play. But the evidence is the key here. Dow struggling to move any lower. For me, Dow is just long. I want to see Dow longs. Dow already took out previous daily low. To me, Dow's ready. Dow is ready. It's got all the liquidity. To me, Dow just looks the best. I mean, whoever's in Dow, perfect. But give me 1 second. You know what? My girl's computer is tripping me out. It was working just fine, but now the fans aren't turning, so I don't know what we did.
And that is...
Oh, 1 second. It says it's a current lack of power. It could be a lack of power. Yeah, it says it's a lack of power. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Sorry about that, guys. Fucking price action longed super fast. This thing's longing. Nasdaq's respecting. S&P. Maybe on S&P we'll get back into like this whole little area right here after we close above. I would really like that. If this 15-minute closes above, takes out this high, I'd love to see what happens in this area, but only after this 15-minute candle closes. In terms of Dow, I mean, like I said, guys, I don't really trade the open, but I'm still long from these imbalances. I would just follow the order flow until we hit liquidity. That's what I do. I follow order flow until we hit liquidity. Once we hit liquidity, then I reassess. But I mean, besides that, it's just these very immediate highs, easy targets. But in terms of today, I'm not like going to jump into the market because tomorrow is NFP and a lot of liquidity and opinions are being built up today. So if we leave these highs intact, if we get close to the highs and then just reject, if we avoid liquidity, don't be surprised. Okay, don't be surprised if we avoid liquidity, if we avoid highs, if we dodge lows, if we get right like ticks away from your target. Don't be surprised. Yeah, don't be surprised. Again, it's the day right before NFP. We're not looking for the move. You know, we're just looking for a nice little setup, 1 to 3. Let's go look at DXY. Are we gonna break on DXY? It looks like it, right? DXY very, very much looks like we can break this hourly. We're gonna know here in 20 minutes. Okay, in about 20 minutes, we're gonna figure this out. Yeah, this whole area on Nasdaq is getting respected very nicely. The 50-minute is bearish. I would want to see this break first. Let's go into EU. Do I have any regular futures traders here on the stream? Do we have any regular like futures traders here on the stream? I got a question for y'all. I have a question for you guys. Wow, these lows are finally gonna go get clapped. We'll see. I think we're gonna go long one more time. EU longs look very good too, actually. I was just looking at it, but we traded into this gap here. That gap right there. 4 hour took out previous daily low. One hour looks like a accumulation type. Getting a full body closure above this high, I will be looking for longs on EU. I will be looking for longs on EU. There's a nice imbalance here too, inside a breaker. That's the type of stuff that I like. Breaker's not set yet. We'll see. All right. Let's see what we got. Nothing yet. 3 minutes before this candle closure. But longs on EU. I want to see longs on EU, shorts on dollar. Yeah, after seeing this gap right here, man. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure. I think that this is a really good area to distribute from. Swept liquidity. Yeah. I'm pretty strong on it. I believe some more shorts on the dollar. And for that, I'm going to be long on EU. This 5-minute imbalance was beautiful. I would have definitely took it there. But this breaker is the one that's getting my attention. This one right here. If we close, we get that full body candle closure. This breaker right here. Breaker imbalance. Yeah, I'm willing to go long there on EU. Aiming back to that daily imbalance. One second. Okay, did we get that on EU? Oh shit, we did get it. No, we haven't. Oh yeah, now we did. Now we got that full 15-minute candle closure. Let's go look at other feeds. Let's see if EU did that full closure on other feeds. Doesn't look ready yet. Does not look ready yet. See DXY. Yep. Doesn't look ready yet, guys. Ideally, we'd want to see this short off. So EU does not look ready for me. We'll wait on the entry. We gotta wait for our criteria to be met. Because otherwise, the 1 hour is just gonna be bearish. The longs look clear. The longs look clean. Right? The longs do look clean. S&P, my thoughts remain here for S&P. Maybe this imbalance here, actually. For potential reaccumulation, maybe you guys look for it on the 1 minute, 5 minute, but reaccumulation out of this area. Lots of liquidity on S&P. Lots of liquidity buildup. We got a nice little shift in structure on NASDAQ, but nothing else. I'm not too convinced on NASDAQ. I probably won't look at it for the rest of the day for right now until something significant happens to it. Dow, just following this bearish order flow. Don't see any signs of bullishness yet. S&P did tap into that imbalance. Now maybe we end up just taking off from our area. I'm gonna put a lower risk trade here on the long, and if price action gives us a better, I guess, entry, we'll add on to it, but if not, we're in it. Okay, so this is based out of this imbalance and this whole down push before we broke to the upside. Okay. Maybe price gets right back into our area. There we go. And then our imbalance was based out of that. I want to say this imbalance here. So I'm going to leave it right there. Leaving enough room for that imbalance down here. In case we do pop down there. Because we can. We don't have to, but we can. And then, of course, the 1 hour can respect bearish and, you know, we get clapped. That also is a possibility. Yeah. TXY is accumulating. It honestly looked like we were going to distribute. But if we end up pushing higher, then EU is just going to push lower and my trade's just going to get clapped. So, because DXY is doing this, then I'm going to be closing this one. And that would be my trade for the day. That would be the only trade I've taken this week. Yeah, I mean, I'm dollar's king, right? Like, just know that dollar's king, and you don't fuck around with dollar. You're either going with the dollar or you stay out of it. So if the dollar's going up and these guys are accumulating and Dow's the only one that's distributing, that's the one that you need to be watching. Right? NASDAQ did not look like we wanted to go any higher. So in terms of NASDAQ, I like NASDAQ the most because it took out some intraday liquidity here. So in terms of the shorts, I like NASDAQ the most. Get a nice distro here. Cool. Yeah, for shorts, NASDAQ. And I stay away from the other ones. EU just looks so ready for these fucking shorts. I mean, for these longs. I'm gonna wait for EU. This does not look bad. Okay. The only thing that does look bad, of course, is the weekly. Because we're so bearish. We're extremely bearish. The only thing that's bullish is this daily. Alright, guys. While I have you guys here, okay? While I have you guys here, I'm going to make it super, super easy for you guys to enter this giveaway, okay? I'm going to make it super, super easy. Easy. I don't know why I couldn't say that. Easy. I'm going to make it super easy to do this. 1 second. Look. Okay, give me 1 sec. All right. In our comments or in the chat, I dropped a link, an Instagram link. Okay, it is to the post for the giveaway. Okay, the post for the giveaway. So basically, the giveaway is actually pretty easy. All you have to do is share this post on your story, tag me, Honcho Mindset, or at Honcho Mindset. Okay, and 2 friends. That's it. That enters you or gives you an entry to a giveaway that I'm doing for our online bootcamp on the 28th and 29th of October. Okay, if you ever see me take trades, if you ever see me avoid losses, if you ever see the way that I read price action and you would like to learn more, you would like to get more informed, and you would like to take your trading to that next level, here's your opportunity. I'm giving 3 seats away. Okay, these seats are each priced at $350. So if you guys would like a chance to win a free one, that's all you have to do. share the post of the link that I've dropped in the comments or in the chat. Tag me and 2 friends, okay, and finish this sentence. Okay, type this in the sentence. This quote: If you can't identify the liquidity, you are a part of it. If you can't identify the liquidity, you are a part of it. Okay, if someone wouldn't mind dropping that in the chat. If you can't identify the liquidity, you are a part of it. Drop it in the chat for me, so that way everybody has the answer. Everybody has an opportunity to enter this giveaway. Super easy giveaway. Not asking for anything crazy. Just share the post on your story. Tag me and 2 friends with this quote: If you can't identify the liquidity, you are a part of it. Okay, so so far I have 8 entries, and there's 3 seats. There's not that many entries. You know what that means? That for everybody that enters this week on the giveaway, because I am going to be announcing the giveaway winners on Friday's stream. That means, guys, that your chances of winning one of these seats are pretty freaking high. There's only going to be 1 seat per winner, but your chances of winning are pretty freaking high. 8 entries so far. 8 entries. 3 out of 8. Right? That's a pretty good chances right there. So, just giving you guys that tip, that secret. Not a lot of entries have been given so far. So, if in case you guys have done everything and and I haven't noticed, you probably didn't tag me in the post. If you just share the post but don't tag me in it, I can't see it, guys. I won't be able to see it. So just letting you guys know, this post has been shared over 30 times, but there's only 8 entries. Only 8 individuals out of the 30 tagged me in it with their answer. So with that, guys, I'd highly encourage you guys that if you haven't yet heard from me to confirm your entry, to go ahead and follow those steps. Okay, if you ever wanted to learn more ICT concepts, if you've ever wanted to learn how to trade the way that I do, if you've ever been intrigued by the way that I mark up charts, by the way that I avoid certain scenarios, how to do what we do here every single day, I highly encourage you guys to tune into that bootcamp. Maybe you don't win a seat, but you will definitely learn a lot of value from that bootcamp. All right. And again, it's going to be October 28th and 29th, an ICT Smart Money Concepts bootcamp. Okay. If you want to learn how I do everything that I do every day here with you guys, tune into that bootcamp or enter the giveaway. Okay. All right. But in terms of the DXY, so far so good. Nothing too crazy. We haven't done anything really. We did tap into that imbalance. I am going to enter the market one more time, but this time with a full amount of risk. And price action for some fucking reason filled me up all the way up there. Who knows why? But whatever. That's the area that I've been looking for. Ideally that imbalance down here would have been the most ideal entry. But we're in. And again, we're not aiming for the moon or anything. We're just aiming back into this imbalance. Maybe first we could even take some profits or major profits right here in this previous area of distribution that swept that previous high. That to me looks like a very good take profit or partialing area right there, that breaker. Okay, so maybe we take our take profit there. Let's go look at the 5-minute. A nice 104, easy peasy. We're gonna leave EU. We'll come back to EU. You guys already know that EU takes a sweet ass time, so we're gonna come back to EU. S&P longs as well ended up accumulating out of that imbalance that I mentioned earlier. If anybody took advantage of that, beautiful. If you didn't, I'm sorry. But that was a nice entry point right there. Really good entry point. I had a feeling that we were going to come back to this volume gap right here. This little gap in price. Boom. Clean. Super clean. Let's see, Dow. Dow longs, I told you guys, if I'm going long on one, to me, it's Dow. Doesn't look ready yet. NASDAQ. Let's go. Wow, NASDAQ respected that area. And if we get a full candle closure above, NASDAQ's going to be the one as well that's going to be valid for these longs. So hold on 1 second. There's this fat ass gap right here, and I could only see it on the 1 minute. Yeah, I'm going to take that out. Okay, there we go. There we are. A lot cleaner. There it is. 50-minute candle closure above. This is ideally what you would want to see. Let's see this 1 hour breaker. 1 hour breaker here. And then you have a nice 15-minute and 5-minute insufficiencies. Mainly 15-minute. All the way down there though. So we'll see. We'll see. There's an imbalance here. So maybe we don't go down all the way. Juan says, in NAS. Are you in NAS longs, brother? I think you were calling out some accumulation yesterday too. Those are still safe. We didn't get that bearish closure on DXY. And we did not get that bullish closure on EU. So we shall see what happens for the rest of the day. Oh yeah, my stop loss. 1 second. Stop loss is going to be... Oh wait, right there, the breaker. We're in that imbalance that I was mentioning on NASDAQ. Imbalance breaker. Looks like a good area. Yeah, imbalance breaker. Previous 1 hour, 1 minute higher high, higher low. Really clean. We'll see if it ends up respecting this area, but this is your breaker right here. So you have 2 points of support right there. You got a breaker and an imbalance. Really clean. I'm already in EU, otherwise I'd take NASDAQ. But out of everything, that actually I wouldn't take NASDAQ. Me personally, that doesn't mean you don't need to take it, but me personally, this is the one that I'm not gonna play because it's the only one that didn't sweep a previous daily low. In terms of Dow, like Dow should be the one exploding to the upside, and so the fact that Dow isn't moving towards the upside makes me hesitant on longing the indices, because Dow did in fact take previous daily low. So if we're gonna go long, the downside liquidity needs to be acquired. Cool, but once we acquire that downside liquidity, you want to see that bullish order flow. If you don't, then probabilities are that you're still in a bearish order flow, right? Like bullish order flows are, and the order flow needs to be obvious. Order flow needs to be obvious. S&P as well, playing within that same imbalance that NASDAQ has. Came into the breaker, comes into the same imbalance that NASDAQ had, and just continues pushing to the upside. Maybe we'll smack these highs right here. Excuse me. Juan said in NAS longs. Interesting. S&P longs. NASDAQ longs and S&P longs look good. Yeah, this NASDAQ play looked clean. Clean. For whoever played this NASDAQ right here, clean. Again, CPI day, okay? We're not taking like the fattest of risks today, okay? Do not take the fattest. If you got clapped today once, boom, call it good. Call it good, you know? Call that a win. Only got clapped once and you traded today, you know? Yeah, this one does not make me very hopeful, actually. Bearish order flow. DXY struggling to go lower. Yeah, I'm not too convinced on EU. I'm going to more than likely close this manually. Yeah, more than likely I'm just going to close this manually. So where I failed here was not waiting for this full body candle closure. Okay, and not just that, but you want to see the wick get taken out. So this is one thing that I didn't like about this. Like, yeah, we got that full body candle closure above, but we didn't get the wick, and the wick is important. The wick of that breaker right there, that's important to me. And so because we didn't hit that, you know, I'm kind of feeling like we're not going to shift. Like, this isn't a valid shift in structure. So if we get back into profits, I'll be closing this manually. If we stop it out, we'll stop it out, but not too faithful on that. We're actually just going to close it. Okay. So I am going to close this one. Just letting you guys know why I closed it. I did fail to wait for that shift in structure. Something that I should have waited for up here. I failed to wait for that. So price actions just probably, and if it doesn't, let's say it explodes to the upside, we'll wait till that high is taken out. And then we can comfortably take this trade. Of course, that thing just dropped like $200 more, but it is what it is. Again, we're going to close it here. The reasoning is because the shift in structure was not yet created. So we're going to wait for that shift in structure first, right? Because our criteria essentially was not met. It was just a break of structure on the 15. And for a valid breaker, okay, the shift in structure has to take place. Shift in structure has not taken place here. So we'll leave that, okay? NASDAQ shift in structure, see that? And so it's like, it takes out not just the high with the bodies, but with the wicks. S&P, this one right here, it did shift it. Maybe we're coming a little bit lower to deeper imbalances. Actually, we didn't shift it. The high right here is this high. So we have yet to shift structure on S&P. The shift in structure is actually quite important. I know we don't talk about shifts in structures too much, but there's breaks and then there's a shift. This is a clear shift in structure versus just a break of structure. A break of structure is just the bodies. A shift in structure is the body. It's not just the bodies. It doesn't even have to be the bodies. It's just the wicks. See that? That shifts structure upwards. Dow is still shorting. DXY looks like we're just gonna follow this bullish order flow. It may just, you know, fuck around here in this area for quite a bit. Anyways, I mean, I took my trades for sure. I took 2 trades today. Didn't like either setup, so I guess it's not that I didn't like either setup. The setup invalidated. Okay, was invalid. When I have an invalid setup, that's really that's probably the only times that I'll close it manually is if I have an invalid setup. You know, I don't want to risk more than I've already have on a I don't want to say shitty, but on a lower probability setup. There we go. Price action came into this balanced price range here. Not convinced again. Not convinced on the longs yet. I'm not. Shift in structure didn't take place. Dow, NASDAQ. We'll see. I don't think NASDAQ will hold out either. DXY longs, indices shorts. NASDAQ took out the high. Dow didn't take out the high. S&P didn't take out the high. Just built up all that upside liquidity. Now, guys, the shorts may look attractive and everything like that, but honestly, it's CPI tomorrow. Hold your bullets till 9:30 open. And I'll be here. I'll be here tomorrow. I just don't want to keep risking on a low probability day. I don't think that this is a really good day to be like actively trading or looking for or trying like a setup. So if the setup didn't explode the other direction, then it is what it is, and I just move on. I won't take the trade or won't try to milk the setup because, again, testing your luck on a lower probability day is never the move. Okay, NASDAQ. I believe NASDAQ will follow through with the other two. But for the most part, guys, it's just going to be like, don't be surprised. Look, like I mentioned earlier, don't be surprised if we dodge lows and highs. Look at that. We go up to it on S&P. We get fucking ticks away from those highs and then just reject from the downside. Then we get bullish again, and then we just dodge the upside. So again, don't be surprised if we just play within the current ranges that we're at. If we take back some of the lows from yesterday, if we don't take back any of the lows from yesterday, don't be surprised because we got liquidity to the downside, liquidity to the upside, and it should come to no surprise to you guys that we're dodging lows and highs the day right before CPI. Prepare yourselves for CPI price action. Don't just blow all your money on today. We took one single trade. We closed it with 0.5% risk, with the 0.5% down. I'm okay with that. I'll take that as a win, especially on a lower probability day. Should have just stayed away overall. But now we're not going to shoot all over ourselves. We're just going to see what actually happened. What happened here? Well, we did not get our full confirmations. We only got a breaker structure and not a shift in structure to confirm this breaker. So because of that, we closed manually. We have not entered the market on any other indices. Currently, it does look like they're going to go long, but DXY is not following that. Right? DXY has not shorted yet. It's not shorting and it's not bearish yet. So in terms of that means for me, I'm going to be staying out of the market today on this lower probability day. What would have made it a higher probability and is if the DXY complied. But because we did not get that, we just don't stress about it. And we are traders that understand we need to wait for clear opportunities in which we understand. Okay. And yeah, I just don't understand why the hell we're not going for the highs. So yeah, so until DXY distributes, guys, gets a nice distro 1 hour close below, then I'm just going to remain off the charts and not taking any of the longs. But the longs are the only things that make sense to me today in terms of indices and EU. Okay, in terms of indices, EU, they only make sense to go long. DXY, to me, it's in a really good place to go short. Is it happening yet? We'll see. We shall see. But as of right now, guys, I'm going to let you guys go. I appreciate you guys being here with me today. I know this is a shorter session than usual. We're usually on here for about 2+ hours, but we'll call it a day today. I just wanted to come on here and I told you guys to make sure that you're here today because I wanted you to see how we handle the a day before CPI. Yeah, you may not trade news. Yeah, a lot of people say, "Oh, news is I avoid news." But even if you're someone that doesn't trade news, you should 100% be aware of these fundamentals because 100% today's and yesterday's price action was influenced by an event that has yet to happen. It was influenced by an event that happens on Wednesday at 8:30 a.m. Eastern. So now 2 days full worth of price action have been highly influenced by a future event that you tend to avoid. Don't avoid things, understand them. That's my advice to everyone here. If you're new, that's my advice to you. Don't avoid things you don't understand. Learn how to understand them, right? Learn to trade within these environments. Learn what is a high or low probability day for you. Okay? Accept that the market doesn't guarantee anything. Nothing in here is guaranteed. I want you guys to continue to trade responsibly, clap easy. Make sure you don't slow down on your prop firms just because, that shit happened to my Forex funds. Take a week off, but don't take anything more than that. Get back to it, guys. Make sure that you're learning every single day. If you're not yet profitable, the one thing that you should be focusing on is learning. There's nothing else that you should be focused on. You shouldn't be focused on making money or anything like that. If you're not profitable, if your strategy has yet to prove to be profitable to you and to be successfully consecutive amount of times, to be profitable and withdrawing and passing challenges, then there's nothing else that you should be doing other than studying. And how do you study in these markets? The best way is to gain experience. Okay. Trade, guys. Don't just trade demo your whole lives, but trade a challenge. Take that challenge on, take that bigger account on, take that bigger obstacle on, take more on, because I promise you, if you feel like you're doing a lot already, I can promise you there's plenty of people that are outworking us both. Okay, there's plenty of people that are outworking us both, and they have what we want. So with that said, guys, kill it this week. Trade responsibly. I'll see you guys tomorrow for CPI. I will not be up or running a stream at CPI at 8:30 a.m. Eastern, but I will see you guys 30 minutes after, okay? I'll see you guys at 9 a.m. Eastern. We'll go live. I'm super ready for CPI tomorrow. We saved a lot of risk for, we saved quite a bit of risk on the table. And just because it's CPI tomorrow doesn't guarantee that we're going to be taking a trade. So please don't come with that expectation that we're going to fucking bag it. We're just coming with the expectation that we're showing up every single day, every single time, no matter what the market brings. We're here to learn. All right, clap easy, trade responsibly, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay, peace.